Hello and Happy New Year. This is Brian Shannon speaking from AlphaTrend's Blogspot. It is January 1st, 2007, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some ideas that hopefully can start our year out right with some profits in the market. The NASDAQ 100, as I pointed out in the earlier video, is looking kind of vulnerable here. So I'm not really thrilled about any of the stock ideas that I have, either long or short. I do think there's some good opportunities here, and hopefully the market will cooperate. But this market is a little bit dicey here, so I'd say that your best bet is to take it easy in here. And for those of you who did contribute via PayPal, I will be sending more updates on the January effects. We've got some good stock plays in there right now that have worked. We've taken partial profits in one play. We've got stopped out of one at break even, and we've got a couple that are in a profitable position right now. So I think that hopefully these January effect plays are going to be a good place to hide out while the rest of the market kind of settles in here over the next couple weeks or so, it looks like. But don't get too aggressive just because the calendar turned and you feel like you've got to get a head start in the market, because the message of the market right now is to take it easy. We've got this level of resistance that the prior support near that 43.30 level on the NASDAQ 100, and unless we can get decisively back up above this level in here, and I'd say even 43.50 or so, then I wouldn't really be too aggressive on the long side. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at some stock ideas. First up, I've got a low price stock here. It's $3.70, and it just goes to show the quality of what I'm seeing out there. Now the stock is right near this 200-day moving average, and we see that here on the daily time frame as well. But it does look like it's set up nicely here. The name of this company is Airspan Networks, symbol AIRN. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if the stock gets above 371, that's where I'd like to purchase the stock. I'd then put my stop underneath this 364 level. So we're not looking at much risk here. In fact, we're only looking at about 7 cents of risk. And I think the stock can get up to about $4.25, which would give us upside of about 54 cents in AIRN. The only other long that we're going to look at is Genomic Health, symbol GHDX. And this GHDX stock here has pulled back to the rising 50-day moving average. This is a stock that came public last year. The prior resistance looks like perhaps it might be acting as support. Doesn't mean it will, but let's see if this stock can get some support in here and maybe continue higher. Let's take a look. Let's say the way I'd like to purchase this stock is I'd like to see it get above $18.80 a share. If it can get above $18.80 a share, then I want to get involved in it. And that's this level right here. It's been in resistance a couple days. It did get briefly above there on Friday, but I think that above 1880 is where I'd consider a purchase. I'd then put a stop at about $18.45 down here. So that's a risk of, what would that be, 45 cents, I guess, or rather 35 cents. And upside, we're looking for about $20 a share. So upside in this case would be approximately $1.20, and makes for a pretty decent little risk reward. Now on the short side, last year we picked on quite a few times the shares of Dynamic Materials and had some good trades in it as well, symbol boom. And I think the stock might be setting up once again. And it just, for those of you who've been listening for a while, it just seems like this stock is on the verge of what could be a pretty disastrous breakdown in here. It keeps hammering away at support. The more times its support is tested, the more likely that level is to fail. As the demand in that area starts to dry up and the buyers get frustrated with the tenacity of the sellers, we've got all these moving averages declining. I get people emailing me all the time saying, I don't understand, that the story is great, the fundamentals are this and that. And you know what, good news comes out at the top. This stock has definitely seen, I think, some of the better days behind it. It's showing lower highs. It keeps hammering away at this support, and if it breaks there, it could get pretty ugly on the downside. Now, What I'd like to see happen is, what I'd like to see happen would be I get short and it opens up at 15 the next day. What I think could happen is that we could look for a little bit of a rally in this stock. I think we want to see it rally up to about $28.25 on Wednesday, and then sell the stock short on weakness below 28.15. We would then put our stop above $28.45, so risking 30 cents in this case, and looking for the stock to drop down towards $27 a share, which would be about $1.15 away. Now, if it can get down to 27 bucks a share, I think that it actually has a lot bigger potential to the downside, at least at 25. That's 25.03, but at least 25 and possibly lower. This could be a good candidate maybe for puts if you have the patience. I'm not recommending those, but for those of you that do play options, that might be one way to consider trading shares of dynamic materials symbol BOOM. Second stock that we'll look at on the short side is another one that looks like it might be heading for potential disaster here. We've got the daily time frame. It's just a big mess in here. Maybe we're going to see initially a move down towards this $26 level. I think it can just drop below that 200-day moving average a little bit, find some support, and then maybe chop around in there. But basically what I'd like to see happening here is another play where I'd like to see it rally. This time I'd like to see this stock rally up to $27.50 or higher, and then sell short weakness below $27.40. We'd then put our stop at about $27.85. So that's a risk of about 45 cents in here. But I think the target of 26 makes it worth taking the 45 cents risk. So again, target of 26. That would be 45 cents of risk for the opportunity to potentially make about $1.40 a share in shares of J2 Global, symbol JCOM.